I'm gonna guess that somewhere near 100% of people bow hunting are shooting a broadhead. Just guessing. And the broadhead is the only thing that kills your animal that you're shooting at. That's a pretty easy equation. It's not your back bars or your camouflage underwear or your stupid wheelie sight that takes 15,000 adjustments, one of them electronic gizmos that supposedly does all the math for you and you gotta have batteries and stuff. None of that stuff kills you. It's fair, I got my glasses on because I'm going blind, and yeah, it'll happen to you too. So got my readers on because I'm going to show y'all how to sharpen the blood ring on a Tuffhead Evolution 2.0. This is the prototype unit. How do I do this? Meow, like that. Okay, that's the prototype. And then this is the actual final version of the blood ring right there. It's a little bigger, so we came in a little small at first and then enlarged it a little bit. It's not exactly in focus, but you get the picture, and I'm known for kind of being that way. So they're pretty simple to sharpen. The steel on these is not as high grade as the Tuffhead Evolution. It's intended to possibly break, and I'm going to test that some more and find some stuff to pound these things into. It's intended to be as durable as it could be to go through rib cages and stuff and do its job. But should you hit a scapula or something, we kind of want it to break. We're still working on that because we haven't hit enough scapulas to know what breaks them. We did shoot the snot out of them. The guys were hunting snakes in South Texas. And I don't know how many we shot, probably 6 or 8 of them with the blood ring on there. And we did not have one break shooting through snakes and pounding them directly into the earth. So go to Sirius TV and you'll see the rattlesnake hunts. And you'll see that these things were really durable, shooting them dead in, 5 yards into the ground. So there's no doubt they're gonna work on rib cage and all that good stuff. And just a little note, the minute we came out with the blood ring, a bunch of people start yammering about other broadhead brands that have kind of a similar thing. First of all, it's America. And when there's a great idea, we're like, that's a great idea. We'll try that. We also had people asking for a 4-blade, 1-piece, hand sharpenable, single bevel that was made out of, 1 piece of steel and was similar to the Tuffhead Evolution shape. Just that classic broadhead shape. So we said, okay, well, if you want a bleeder, we can add a bleeder and try that. So you could shoot this head with the bleeder or without. So it's a nice thing. The one thing, if y'all noticed, some of you people really pay attention to crazy details. That broadhead's a little chewed up. I think Connor shot an animal with it, and it's been shot twice into a concrete block. And I'm actually gonna resharpen this on another video, and I'm gonna shoot a pig with it. But it spins absolutely true. You'll see that on another video. This video is just about sharpening up that guy, okay? Don't leave them dull. There's no reason to shoot it if it's super dull. And it's not too hard to get real sharp. Hang on. All right, and I'm supposed to put this the right way so you can read it, but that's the sharpening kit that Sirius offers. It's in the Ranch Fairy store if you want one. You may have a sharpening kit, whatever, that's fine. The trick to this, and I did this in another sharpening video on how to sharpen single bevel broadheads and how to strop. This is a block of wood that represents a 30-degree bevel, okay? And this is the basic strategy behind sharpening anything with a bevel. You gotta have it on the stone or a little high, okay? But if it's like this at all, you see that gap in there? Let's see if we can see that. You see that gap? You're not sharpening the tip of the, you're not sharpening the cutting edge, which is out here. So if you sharpen like that, you're getting nothing. And this block of wood's not precise, I got that, but pay attention. You want it to be a little bit high or perfectly flat. And you just feel it, and you'll feel it rocking back and forth. All right, this thing almost hits dead plumb, just setting on the ring itself. It almost hits dead plumb. So when I'm feeling it, if I rock it up just a little bit, it hits almost perfect. Hang on, right there. And what I've been doing is just taking it, rock it up a little bit, and I've been sharpening backwards with it. It's hard to see because my hands are getting in the way. And you're trying to clean up the edge and make it all homogeneous, one surface, okay? You can see it's a little bit sharpened out on the edge. You see that shiny spot right there? Right there. That means I'm cutting on the edge, and that's fine. At least I'm not sharpening back here, okay? You can see it shining right there, right by where my finger is behind it. You see that little edge on there? That's good. A little flatter would be better, but I think I'd hit the edge of the ferrule and start grinding it off, or whatever, the ring. So that little edge is perfect. And then what I've been doing for the backside is you can actually get pretty flat. Flat on there, maybe a little bit high, just a little bit, okay? And then sharpen just like that. Try to keep it even. Go back. Go back, right? And you can, I think you can actually see the burr on this thing. A little burr raised right there, okay? So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna put it back on the, let's see if we can see that. I can see it, but it's tough to see. There's a little tiny burr. Sorry about the video, it's so small, it's hard to mess with. It's hard to get pretty, I can't put it on a ferrule or anything. Yeah, there's a little burr when I feel it. So then, I'm gonna take that edge. Once again, I'm gonna get it on the ferrule, or on the ring. Sorry, I keep saying ferrule like it's a broadhead. I'm gonna go like that. And then right off the ring, I'm just gonna go a little high, just so it doesn't grind the ring off and doesn't do that, okay? I'm gonna go right off the ring, just a little bit up, and one little stroke like that, okay? Then we get some paper, and I gotta set up the camera different to check it. So much like a 3-blade, I just take a piece of paper. This is just newspaper I got picked up off the street every day, and I check it for sharpness and go like that, and then cut it. It made a little nick in it right there. And that's all you need. You just need it to make a little bit of a nice smooth cut. It's not perfectly slick. If you want to strop them, you could, but look at that. It's just cutting real nice. And since it's a bleeder blade, as the ranch fairy, I'm going to strop this thing because there's no reason not to. It's the same process and would take no time, and the edge will get honed and less rough. So it's a little chunky going through the paper. So I'm going to show that. All right, the Serious Ranch Fairy strop. It's in the Ranch Fairy store. If you have a strop, you have a strop. It's fine. It's leather, blah, blah, blah. And all I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to put the ferrule down, ride it up, and just nice and smooth strokes back. Just 2 or 3. This is the smooth side of the strop. I'm going to flip it over. Once again, I'm going to try to get flat because that's the angle that I honed it at with the diamond. So I get as flat as I can and just go backwards. And see how it's jumping? That's the burr coming off. Don't push too hard. And it's smoothing out. So that's the chunks of steel that I was talking about that you need to knock off to make the edge really honed. You can see, let's see if we can see that. You see these drag marks in the leather? That's the burr coming off of this thing, and that means it's gonna be sharper. And sharper is good. I'm gonna go back to the other side. Once again, ring on the leather, on the sharpening tool or whatever. Just a little higher. Smooth like glass. You might as well do that part because it will help everything when you get it done. I'm going to check the sharpness now on that. Just cut right through it. The thing that you can't experience, you see it's bent cut because it's a single bevel. Before I stropped it, it was cutting pretty good, but it's slicker feeling now. I mean, it really jumps different, and I'm not going to be able to show the comparative analysis. You're going to have to try this, and you'll see the difference. You'll feel it. Before it was stropped, it was kind of draggy, and now it's just, I mean, the minute it touches it, it's jumping it through it, and it's a different feeling. So it's not anything I can convey on video. But before it was a little draggy, it was still real sharp. Now it's slicker, and that's all I can tell you. You just have to experience it yourself. So in closing, if you're going to bother to buy the blood rings and buy any broadhead with replaceable bleeder blades, and you're going to sharpen your broadheads, even if you're shooting 15 animals a year, you should go do this to increase lethality. There is no reason to say, hey, it's probably good enough. There are so many hours in the day where you're sitting around watching TikTok and getting on your Instagram feed, picking your nose and getting hammered by social media stupidity, when you could be out sharpening your broadheads and make sure they are ready to go, instead of watching TikTok all day and watching Instagram and going, oh my God, I forgot to sharpen them. They're bound to be good. I keep saying this, I'm gonna keep saying it's 2022. There isn't a single arrow system out there that doesn't have a broadhead on the front that kills a deer. I'm sure a couple of you guys have done it with field points, and you can blabber that I've done it with field points 400 times with a 350 grain arrow that going 900 feet per second. But it's pretty irresponsible to shoot field points at animals. And I'm gonna guess that somewhere near 100% of people bow hunting are shooting a broadhead. Just guessing. And the broadhead is the only thing that kills your animal that you're shooting at. That's a pretty easy equation. It's not your back bars or your camouflage underwear or your stupid wheelie sight that takes 15,000 adjustments, one of them electronic gizmos that supposedly does all the math for you and you gotta have batteries and stuff. None of that stuff kills deer. It helps. But at the end of the day, the broadhead hits the animal and cuts a hole in the vitals and hopefully hits the vital organs and dispatches the animal very quickly. It seems like a simple equation. I'm surprised how many people don't think like that. So sharpen your bleeders, sharpen your broadheads, go to the Rants Fairy channel. I've got all kind of sharpening videos and how to do things and try to learn, and it takes time. If you're one of these snowflake kids who decided that mommy's gonna give you everything in your life and you're not gonna have to put out any effort because you just want a plug and play solution, then I am the wrong channel for you and you should go away. Because I'm old school. I think you should have some responsibility in what you're doing out there. And I'm just an old man. A bunch of you young guys want your nose wiped all the time and an instant bow setup that'll instantaneously kill any animal on earth, from rabbits to elephants. And you don't want any responsibility to do it. So unsubscribe if you're that guy or gal, because I am not for you. There's plenty of channels out there that'll say, hey, just get the old wing dinger bow and put these magic arrows on the front and you don't have to do anything else. Just zero your bow and shoot them towards the front, kind of in the middle, and you'll kill them all day. There are millions of those guys. On the contrary, if you decide you want to be a grown-up and have adult arrows, then you need to understand that broadheads are part of the adult arrow system, probably the most adult thing out there on the front, and learn to sharpen. All right, subscribe if you want to. Don't really care if you don't. Pick your poison, and it's America. You can choose who you want to listen to and compare a bunch of other people's ideas and then come up with your own solution. Hey. Well, you know, I'm not a guy who believes we should shoot into rocks and stuff, save the bricks and all of that, because that's some people's whole channel. This is a Tuffhead Evolution 2.0 with the leer blades in it. It's been shot through an animal and then shot into a brick wall twice. I would say that's pretty sexy because that thing is chewed up. But structural integrity, rule number 1.